All right, mics are live.
All right.
Good morning, everybody.
Hey.
So, today's session we have Lyn via magical portal. Well, not Lyn, sorry. Wow. Galid via magical portal. I can't speak. Ragnar and Lyn hanging out with us for today's session. And then we have a mystery contestant who will be joining us on Thursday.
Exciting.
And we'll see how
Mystery contestant.
Yes.
Should I be working on my thing?
No, I want you to watch this because technically you're watching this.
Yes, I am.
Yes. So, as we ended our last session, Galid and Ragnar, you had just finished playing hide and seek with our lovely pixies
What
in
fun it was.
the Fairy Kingdom. Lyn, you had upset and then apologized and befriended a swan that was experiencing some existential crises. Which, I mean, when you're part of a fairy carnival that switches planes and only comes back to one plane every 8 years, I would have some existential crises myself, I think. Mm-hmm. What is reality when your reality is constantly shifting? One day you're a swan, the next day you're a duck. Who knows? And, I need to mute our bell. I knew I was forgetting a step. Doom.
Bell, you're muted.
Lyn.
Get wrecked.
Oh, come on. Devices.
Boy.
Chance.
Well, this is going to be fun, I feel.
Yeah, mine. Oh, I didn't need to snooze it that long. I might drop you for a second, Grace. Birds. We'll see. I was reconnecting the Wi-Fi to the one in here instead of the overall.
Okay.
Okay, so. And thus began hour 4 of the Witchlight Carnival. So, from across the fair, you hear, "Come one and all to the big top and view our extravagances." Show begins in 5 minutes. Strangely, you can't see where the voice came from, but it seemed to come from everywhere all at once.
Ragnar, it's time.
I know. I've been waiting. I make my way to the carousel.
So mote it be. It's your funeral.
Gotta get that Diana.
Okay, so as you push past the entrance of the big top, people are wondering why you're not going in, but are quickly pulled into the barkers' calls as they enter the big top and ignore you. It's hard to ignore the female barbarian, but, I mean, it is a circus. And then, Lyn, what are you going to do?
I'm going to be going to the staff area.
Okay, so as you look around the big top, you realize that, yes, there is indeed a staff area, but you cannot access it from the outside of the big top.
I'll go into the big top then.
Okay. Roll perception.
Don't even have my dice out.
So ready.
It's morning, okay? A 2.
Ooh. 2. As you walk into the big top, your view is obstructed by the many fairgoers as they jostle for seats. But you cannot find an empty one immediately and are forced to the side and pressed against the canvas walls. Roll perception again.
I don't know what that means.
Is it a squiddy-looking thing?
Yeah.
That would be a natural 20.
Oh, okay.
So yes, on the Kraken dice, the Kraken itself is the 20. So, as you're pressed against the wall, you are jostled slightly and you look over, and you see Sal already sitting on a bench and waves you over, having saved you a seat.
Nice.
Yeah. Off you go to a bench. And it's a very good seat. Apparently Sal had an inkling as where to get a good view of the spectacles that are about to begin. Galid, what would you like to do?
I will probably also head for the big top.
Galid, you turn from the kingdom and begin walking towards the big top when your poor little mushroom companion squeals and runs the opposite direction.
I follow my mushroom friend.
Your mushroom friend runs around and then into the mystery mines.
Oh,
And
I guess we're
underneath
going to
the doors.
mystery mines then.
Okay, so yes, we will begin with. Where did it go? Sorry, I scrolled too far down my page. Okay, so Lyn, you and Sal are sitting in the big top when the lights magically dim and a spotlight. Yeah, wow, I can't speak this morning. I need more caffeine. The lights dim and a hush falls over the crowd. Seconds later, a spotlight illuminates a live elven figure sitting in a silver hoops, suspended above the center ring by silk ropes. The elf wears a dazzling suit of diamond-pane mirrors and a beautiful pair of butterfly wings. His scepter is topped with a spinning weather vane. Welcome, one and all, to this evening's extravaganza. I am Mr. Light. Prepare to be delighted. The spotlight dips, and the lights come up, and he is magically disappeared. The spotlights lower and highlight Palasha the mermaid, who begins to serenade the audience from her clamshell bathing pool. And so you are entranced for a little bit.
She's a siren.
Well, she's a mermaid, so kind of goes with the territory. Okay. Ragnar.
Yes.
You make your way to our... Well, if I can find it. I think it's the next one. Really need to bookmark these things. Because I knew it was coming, so... Could that be carousel? Okay, so as you approach the carousel, Diana sees you coming, kind of smiles, shakes her head a little, and roll perception.
Hey, no. I rolled a 1.
So, in straining to hear whatever is being said, you run smack dab, face first, into the entrance of the carousel. Take 1 point of temporary damage.
Ooh. How do I do that?
Just write a -1 next to your HP. Let me see, I'm trying to remember this. Yeah, temp HP would be 12. Or no, current HP would be 12, sorry. So yeah, where it says current HP, just write in 12.
You got it.
Having watched your spectacular display and lack of dexterity, Diana begins to laugh and kind of rubs her temples and beckons you inside.
I'm in, boys. Worth it.
So as you approach, Diana reminds you, you're here to help repair my carousel. Nothing more. Agreed?
Agreed.
Okay. So,
That's a lie.
did you notice the names on the unicorns as you rode the carousel earlier?
Yes.
Okay. So some of the signs need repaired, but I cannot tell you their names. You must figure that out for yourself. So you walk up to the first pair of unicorns, and the name tag on one says Fortune, and the other one is mostly obscured, but you can see B and 3 other illegible letters on its name tag. As you ponder its name, you walk to the second. The third unicorn's name is Fall. And its partner starts with a P and an R and has 3 other obscured letters. You walk a little further, and our 5th unicorn's name is Stone. And its partner, its name starts with an M and ends with an S, and has 2 missing and obscured letters. And finally, our 7th unicorn is named Stotch. And its partner's name is mostly obscured and has an N in the middle. So you have time to ponder how these names are related and what their partners' names may be. Dun dun dun. Okay. Then Galid, let me find your minds real quick. I believe they're alphabetical, so it should be here. As you approach the mystery mines following your runaway mushroom, you notice that a rather impatient and irritated dwarf is sitting at the entrance to the ride. Though propelled by magic, the minecarts laden with fairgoers trundle into an opening carved like a dragon's mouth. The carts reappear moments later on the far side of the attraction, with the passengers expressing a mixture of bewilderment, fear, and excitement. The male dwarf dressed like a wizard shouts, "Unlock the mystery of your mind in the mystery mine." He has bushy eyebrows, wears a pointy hat, and holds a large clockwork contraption shaped like a giant eye. Do you go in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ticket.
So, the dwarf takes and puts out his hand, beckoning for your ticket.
I hand over the ticket. We each have like 9 punches on these tickets, right? And
It would be
I think I'm
8.
on my 5th one?
You would be, I believe this would be punch number 4 for you.
Oh, okay. 4th punch.
4th punch. Okay.
4th punch! That's a very different anime.
Yes, it is. That is a very different anime. Indeed. Okay. You hand him your ticket. It gets its 4th punch. And you start to wonder what else you can see before you have to buy another. The dwarf hands it back and gestures towards one of the mine carts.
I get in.
You get in. As you seat, your mushroom appears next to you and clambers on top of the little handlebar that sits in front of you and looks
Yeah.
very excited.
Let's go, little mushroom boy!
As the cart propels forward, the doors in the dragon's mouth open ominously, creaking loudly, and you disappear into the darkness.
Am I the only one on the ride? Or is it, because the whole entire big top thing's going on, I assume that everyone would start going over there. Am I the only one on the ride? Is this my mushroom?
Roll perception.
1 second.
And I believe you are a tiefling, so you get I believe a +1 to dark vision.
I have a 60-foot dark vision, actually.
Okay, so roll perception. I think even as
Perception. My brain is slow. That is a dirty 20.
dirty 20.
Nice.
As the doors close behind you, the darkness envelops you, and your eyes adjust quickly. Looking around, you don't see much of anything but the tracks in front of you and the tracks behind you. And strangely, they don't go in the direction you would expect to quickly exit the mines. Roll. As you do, a disembodied voice can be heard in the distance.
I hold my mushroom I hold my mushroom close to myself. I'm not inherently scared, but I am I will protect this mushroom with my life. You can rip it from my cold, dead hands.
Your mushroom squeals as it is being squeezed. Roll strength.
Roll what?
Roll strength. Strength. Sorry.
Strength.
Yep. Just.
That is 23. As you hold on to your poor little mushroom buddy, his cries rise higher and higher in pitch. Until finally the cries cease.
Oh no!
You look down into your hands and your poor little mushroom is a little bit skinnier and longer than you remember. But as you relax your grasp, you can see that while it doesn't appear to be breathing, you can tell that it still lives. It's just passed out at the moment.
I just didn't want them to take you. I keep forgetting I'm a lot stronger than I look. Here, how about you just stay up here and I just set him on my shoulder?
Roll wisdom.
Okay. 21.
So as the voice fades in the distance, you can tell that there seems to be a box of some sort emitting the sounds that you heard as the cart trundles on. As you continue further into the mine, You can hear the rocks rumbling around you. And a large creature comes bursting through the sides of the wall. Roll wisdom.
12.
You duck as the creature flies right over your head, and you can feel it brush against your hair. You wonder if that was real or if that was an illusion as well, but you cannot decide. And so the ride continues. Lastly, as you round a bend, you see a pile of treasure sparkling and glinting in the distance, illuminated by a shaft of light from the roof.
Oh well.
Chests upon chests of gold and gems.
Oh well.
Apparently the tiefling is not interested.
I have a mushroom and I don't need any gold.
Ignoring the gold, you hear almost a sigh as the ride wonders what it should have done to tempt you. And around another corner you go. As you round the corner, you see a mushroom forest appear.
Yes!
Many tall mushrooms in a variety of colors. And what appears to be small whitish mushrooms running around the base of the trees.
Is this your home? I was
found a
thinking to my
weak spot.
little mushroom, is this your home?
Roll medicine. For your...
That is an 18.
As you look on in wonder and look down at your poor little mushroom and try and revive it, it wakes suddenly, shakes its head, and looks at you somewhat angry and bewildered at the same time.
I'm sorry, little friend. I didn't want them to take you. As I said before, I thought you were awake. I fucking suck. I'm sorry. I suck. And anyway.
So,
do you recognize this place? And then he pointed all the mushrooms.
it squeals in joy and jumps from the cart to run and gather with its kith and kin, having been reunited with his family.
Aww.
Roll wisdom.
That's a nat 1.
As the mushroom runs to rejoin its family, it starts to fade and waver and slowly disappears from existence.
My mushroom friend. I hope it has a good life with its family.
Having returned your poor little mushroom.
I just picture the cart comes out and Galid is curled in the fatal position and is crying.
The dwarf is mighty perplexed. This is the first time he's seen somebody curled into the fetal position coming out of the mine, bawling their eyes out. He looks down at the enchantments that are currently cast upon the ride and wonders if maybe one was a little bit too strong, but then shrugs and goes about his day.
And it's not the scared crying. It's very clear that Galid is having one of those when you get really, really sad and you just want to sit and eat food all the time.
A crippling depression.
The crippling depression of returning your, you hope, real mushroom friend that you almost stroked out and choked to death to its home. So Lyn, all right, Lyn. The mermaid finishes her ballad, and the lights dim once again. I have to get back to that. Okay. Oh no! Sorry, that's the wrong one. I don't need to go to that one. I need to go to that. I really should, write this out. Or bookmarking would work too. Okay, so as the mermaid's song fades from your ears, and the lights dim on the center stage, the lights come up on one of the side stages, and you notice the clown that was out in front of the Hall of Illusions has appeared and looks longingly towards the center stage. He reaches out a hand. His mouth moves like he's trying to say something, and nothing comes out. And then the lights dim again to the voice of Mr. Light saying, "Apologies, apologies, that was the wrong light." And the lights come up on the ring across the big top, where acrobats, somewhat startled, thinking they still had time to set up, begin their performance. Roll perception.
That's an 18.
As the acrobats begin their performance, you can see the clown skirt across the back of the big top and into the staff area. So, the acrobats begin. Ragnar, how goes your quest?
So, what is the the unicorn's name across from the PR label?
Okay, I believe. So across from PR, his name would be Fall.
Fall.
And as you look about Fall and PR, you notice that PR is not quite in line with Fall and is actually somewhat forward on the carousel.
That could be a few things. That's not what I thought it was, isn't it? So that would be...
I feel like I might know the answer, but I don't want to give it away.
Yeah. All right.
So... Then I walk over to the bee and analyze that a little closer.
Okay. So, Galid, how are you doing, Galid?
I'm off the ride. I'm probably still pretty sad. I salute towards the ride, and it's probably really weird to watch because I'm saluting to a ride.
As you exit the ride, you turn your back to the crowds, back towards the line, and give it a salute. As you salute, the calliope music in the fair picks up a tune and sounds almost triumphant, as if a hero has completed their quest. And Lyn, could you turn our little meter to the right one step, please? So, having done that, where would you like to go now?
I think You know what? I think I'm just gonna wander around for a while, not going anywhere too specific.
Okay, so we'll have you start walking towards, say, the ticket booth. And as you walk, you notice a myriad of the fair's staff and hands milling about, somewhat at their ease. But a few are still looking about rather intently, wondering and just kind of staring off into the shadows at times. Roll perception.
Oh. Perception. That is a dirty 20 again.
Okay. As you walk towards the ticket booth, you notice movement out of the corner of your eye. And what at one point seems a fairy with butterfly wings then seems like a kenku, and then once again a fairy as it runs off, having noticed you looking.
Hey, weren't the fairies, I don't want to meta in case they didn't talk about it with us, but weren't they talking about how, like to me and Ragnar, weren't they talking about how there was a kenku running about, and if we saw it to tell them about it or something?
They were indeed.
Oh man. I want to follow. I want to see if I can follow it.
All right. Roll investigation.
Investigation. That's a 19.
So, despite the milling staff members and crowd, you can follow our mystery kenku fairly easily, and they lead you on a merry chase about the fair.
Yeet!
Okay.
Also, I'm sorry for swearing earlier.
I think it was appropriate. We'll leave that as our single F-bomb to maintain our PG-13 rating. Okay. So, just to continue, Lyn, as you sit there with Sal, the big top continues, and the acrobats disappear, the lights fade, and they come back up on the middle ring, where a witch of sorts appears with a puff of smoke as well as her cauldron. And she begins to chant and sing and croon as illusions emit from her cauldron to dazzle and scare the little children.
I like this woman.
You nod approvingly. And many of the crowd around you agree and chuckle slightly whenever they hear a little eep from one of the children under the big top. Ragnar, how goes it?
Well, a few ideas for one of them.
Okay.
So, the PR.
Yes.
Fall. So, would it be... I'm going to say pride.
You grab your pen or your paint brush and fill in the letters of the name tag. The unicorn shakes its head whinnies and shudders and looks on you approvingly. For yes, pride do goeth before a fall.
Nice.
I knew it.
And so, would you like to try another?
Sure. I walk over to the M.
Okay.
What is the the unicorn across from the M and S?
That would be stone.
Stone. Aha! Got it. Moss.
As you grab your paintbrush and paint in the letters for moss, the unicorn whinnies and shudders and looks upon you approvingly. For yes, a rolling stone gathers no moss.
I then approach the unicorn with the B.
Okay.
And what is the unicorn from across B again?
You look, and its name tag is Fortune.
So the first letter was B.
Correct.
And there's 2 missing letters.
There are 3
There are
missing letters.
3. That complicates matters. So fortune. I feel like this one could be simple. Fortune. And so there's 4 missing letters. Starts with B.
So 3 missing letters, so 4 total.
4 total. 3 missing letters. First letters of B. Fortune. Let's say. Oh no, that's 5. I might have to ponder this one.
Okay. So, Galid, you continue your merry chase of our rogue Kenku.
Following the Kenku, the Kenku, the Kenku. We're following the Kenku wherever he may go.
And so your merry chase continues around the ticket booth and past lost property.
We're off to find the Kenku, the Kenku, the Kenku. We're off to find the Kenku wherever he may go.
All right. So. Do. As you run past the dragonflies, you see the Kenku dive in between 2 of the tents and subtly poke its head out and beckon you in.
He knew! Anyway, I cautiously follow the Kenku.
So, as you step into the shadows, the Kenku drops its disguise and stands before you at its full height.
Because it was pretending to be a fairy before, right?
Yes, it was. As you come to rest, the Kenku tells you, "My name is Kettlesteam, and many years ago, I made a pact with Zybilna, the archfey who rules the Feywild, Feywild and the domain of Prismere. But something is wrong. My patron and my powers do not work the way they should. But I need your help. I want to ask Mr. Light and Mr. Witch about this, but they won't see me. And they will not let me through. So I figured I'd come around here and cause some mischief, and eventually maybe they'd force a meeting, if you will. But it has not happened, and I'm not sure why. Will you help me?
Oh, okay. What would my mushroom pal do? I think for a moment, look at the Kenku, and I sigh before I nod, and yes, I'll try to help you as much as I can, I guess.
Okay, so Kettlestein nods in appreciation. It seems you have garnered a friend this day. As it is, let's see.
We're off to help the Kenku, the Kenku, the Kenku. We're off to help the Kenku, wherever he may go.
Let's see. So, the last time I was here, I overheard Mr. Witch and Mr. Light talking in their wagon. And using her skills, mimics their voices exactly. And in Mr. Light's agitated voice, "Someone's going to find out about this. They'll shut us down." Followed by Witch's calm yet firm reply, "We agreed to this pact. Our hands were forced, but our eyes were open. We let the hourglass come and take what it wants, and in return, we stay in business. That's what you want, right?"
That's real suspicious.
Okay. Lyn, the extravaganza seems to be slowing down a little bit. The lights dim, and once again, the lights come up on our friendly yet markedly quiet clown who has donned mime face paint this time and begins to do a routine of sorts, but you can tell his heart is not really in it, and he keeps looking towards the staff area on occasion. Roll perception.
12.
With modifiers?
Plus 2, which would be 14.
14? Okay. As you look and follow his gaze through the door of the staff area, while you cannot see her face, you can see the edge of the clamshell and tub that the mermaid had been sitting in. And clearly she is watching his performance. And her tail is twitching in what appears to be agitation. Ragnar, how goes with your quest?
So there are 3 missing letters after the B across from fortune.
That is correct.
All right. So for fortune, I have a few good ones here. Word goes hand And a best. Huh. I walk over to the unicorn across from Stitch and observe that one.
Okay. The name for the one across from Stitch.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see where. There are two letters that are illegible, followed by an N, with a illegible letter after.
So, Stitch, and two letters before, one letter after. Okay, so for fortune, I would have to say born.
You walk up to the unicorn across from Fortune, pull your paintbrush out, and proceed to write Born, B-O-R-N. The unicorn does not seem plussed, or is nonplussed with your attempt at naming it, whinnies, and nuzzles you against the shoulder before attempting to rub the paint off with its chin.
Huh. I would have to say boast.
As you begin to write the word boast, you realize there's not enough room on its name tag. And at this point, the unicorn is having none of it. And very, very adroitly nuzzles you away while nipping at your backside, chasing you off. Diana, noticing the interactions, gives a chuckle and thanks you for the help that you have given her thus far. And resignedly invites you next door for a quick drink in repayment for your services in repairing her carousel. Okay. So, as you sit and have your drink, Diana kind of shakes her head and starts to talk. Because most people only see a centaur. But you seem to see more. So many years ago, Diana was not a centaur. In fact, she is not a centaur. She was a warrior and had lost her warhorse. And in an attempt, and such a foolhardy attempt to find it, she had gone to Zybilna and asked for her assistance. But unfortunately, she did not word it very well. And having been sent to Gretty, Nightshade of the Hourglass Coven, the spells were cast, and she awoke, in fact, reunited with her warhorse, but also joined with it.
Oh.
She's been a little bit miffed ever since, but there's no undoing the magic that has been done. So in turn for the wrongs visited upon her, she agrees to answer any questions you may have about the Hourglass Coven, or Zybilna, or Prismere, or what have you. As long as you keep buying the alcohol.
Oh, of course. I asked her if there's anything that I could do to help her.
bring an end to the hag that did this to me.
Oh, I was already planning that.
Oh, you know, sweetie.
So that's already one secret out of this campaign, that Ragnar is secretly having murderous intent toward this witch for no reason, but now has a good reason. I like it. So,
Okay.
I nod in agreement.
So, in that case, go speak with my unicorns, and one will tell you where to find her and how to end her.
I
Didn't
smirk
we talk about
and nod.
that before when we wrote on it earlier?
So as you approach the carousel, I'm trying to find it. Oh no, I have to figure out which one. Where is it? Sorry, I will have to get you that because I'm not seeing exactly what I need to tell you to end her, the hag that has cursed her specifically. That's interesting. I imagine it's in the notes somewhere. Yeah. There. Okay. All right. Wow, where did this go? Okay, we will. As you approach the unicorns, they begin to whisper to you quietly as to not be overheard. Each of the pair, one talking, the other keeping an eye out for any of the Witchlight staff that may be roaming around. And if you want to get close to her, find Cradlefall. She reared him from an egg. And they might be able to help you further in your endeavors. All right. So, as the unicorns finish their discussions with you, you hear the calliope music swell slightly, and you hear a large cheer from inside the big top. And apparently, the extravaganza is coming to an end. Lyn, as you are inside, the lights dim at the end of Candlefoot's performance, and the lights dim once again and come upon as Mr. Light appears with a poof of smoke at the central ring and announces that the extravaganza has come to an end and that this marks the halfway point of our carnival for the night. What? Let's see. Trying to get further back up here. as the lights drop suddenly and then come back up. And he's gone once again. And the crowd starts to slowly rise and shuffle out from under the big top.
I proceed to the staff area, quietly,
Okay.
and without suspicion.
Roll dexterity.
16 plus 1, so that'd be 17.
Okay. So, as you make your way through the mill, or the milling mass that is exiting the big top, you manage to sneak by the two Witchlight hands as they are being bustled and jostled as well, and trying to stay their ground, let alone pay attention to who is brushing against them. I set my dice down, and I haven't had to roll yet. I just realized that. I guess I could have made you roll it. That would have made sense. So as you enter the staff area, the first thing you notice is essentially a dressing rooms, tables that are cluttered with colorful makeup kits and glass jewelry, mirrored trimmings with glowing orbs of light, and chests and drawers and wardrobes all spilling over with garments. Roll a d8.
It's this one, right?
Yes. Or no, that's a d10. D8 is this guy. Yeah.
4.
4. As you walk past the dressing area, you see hung up both the front and rear halves of a two-person unicorn costume. And there doesn't seem to be anybody watching. Do you take it?
Yes. And I put it on to disguise myself. It's a two-person thing.
It's a two-person thing, so are you wearing the front half or the back half?
I think just doing this. Seems very interesting.
Roll athletics.
18 plus 3, that would be 21.
Nice.
Somehow you manage to wriggle into both the front half and the back half of the unicorn costume and make what looks like one of those pygmy cats that looks like it's like squished in all the right or I guess wrong directions. So somehow you make it work and continue
Yay.
further into the
That's impressive.
into the staff area. Hey, Galid, you still have the attention of your Kenku friend. Is there anything else you would like to do before wandering off?
I think I'll ask for any more information they may have. Like, is there anything else I should know before going out there?
Let's see. Which, if anything, should you know? Roll perception.
Brain is slowing down.
We're getting you the end.
That is a 17.
As you watch, the Kenku fidgets slightly and paws at its belt pouch. Kind of shakes its head and goes, "No, nothing at all."
What's in the pocket?
Do you want to persuade them, intimidate them? How would you like to?
Let me look. Which one's better for me? Persuasion versus intimidation. I'm so sorry, sir. My intimidation is better. I will try to intimidate them to show you. No. You know what? Never mind. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna ask, and if he says I don't want to show you, I'll leave.
Okay, roll persuasion.
That is that's an 18. Because I have a -1.
Okay, that is. Looking somewhat remiss and shaking their head slightly, Kettlestream produces a corn dusk haul with a thorny stem tied to its neck that looks remarkably like Candlefoot the Clown. And wanting to sustain or solidify their new friendship with you, they hand it over and apologize for stealing his voice. I did not know it would cause the troubles that it did, but I had to get their attention somehow.
I hold it gently. You're trying to get to the bottom of something, so I understand. Do you mind if I give it back to him?
As long as you promise to help me and to make this right,
Of course.
then yes,
Of course.
you can set this right as well. So, as you take the doll from our Kenku and untie the thorn from around its neck, you feel as if something's been undone, and the light fades from the doll just a little bit, and its colors are washed out.
I put the doll in my pocket.
Yeah. As you step from the shadows, the music of the calliope raises just slightly. Again, as if something has been set right. Lyn, if you could move our counter up 1, please.
To the right?
Yes, please.
I'm doing some good in the world!
So, as you step into the light and the calliope music picks up, and the crowds seem to return to the thoroughfares of the carnival, thus ends our 4th hour. And we would, go ahead and move our skull. And thus ends today's journeys.
Ooh.
All right. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We will see you tomorrow.
Alec will simp for another day.
Yes,
Yes,
Alec gets to
yes.
simp one more day.